Hello Virgo, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here with your September 2025 general reading. We are looking at the first half of September. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch these videos. Please do subscribe and like. If you know your other sign placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch those as well for additional insight. If something about the reading hits home and makes sense to you and you want to see how it plays out or how to deal with it in your own personal life or situation, or you just like the reading style, excuse me. If you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or perhaps as a gift for someone else, you can email me for more information, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description below of this video to see those contact details as well. I can usually get back to you within the same day. I cover all areas of life, love and romance, relationship compatibility, career, work, money, investments. I do 6 and 12-month overviews. There's different types, lengths, costs, spreads, something for everyone. And I do this full time, so I'm quite diligent about timely scheduling of personal readings. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Virgo. Let's see what the first half of September looks like for you. I'm using my headset today because there's some renovation work going on outside. Lots of banging and sawing and things like that. Okay, Virgo. We begin with the Knight of Swords, taking swift, informed action. Have to be careful not to be too spontaneous or impulsive about this. We have the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Earth, Queen of Pentacles. That's you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. For some of you, it might be another Earth sign that's relevant here. This may be about your security and stability. We have justice, the rule of law, reaping what we sow. Always an indication of following your core values, truth, honesty, morals, and ethics. Typically, this is a combination. It looks like many of you are going to have to be making a choice. It might be a bit of a tough choice. You know, justice is kind of the ideology of the rule of law and doing the right thing because that's reflected in the outcome of something. But without the Knight of Swords, it's just theoretical, right? Now, the Knight of Swords is about taking action in a very swift sort of way, very intentional, very action-oriented, but on its own, without that justice, without that rule of law. The danger is you go too fast and you run in the wrong direction. So this combination of cards is actually a good one, but it does represent a choice that needs to be made for many of you. It might be a bit of a tough choice because it calls for doing what's fair, what's right, what's equitable, what's even, what's moral and ethical. Particularly in the face of perhaps some of you might be feeling a bit challenged, or maybe not everyone is on board with you. Your crowning energy, the overall focus for the first half of September, Virgo, is the Ace of Wands. New beginning. Exciting new beginning. So, let's take a look at the crowning energy. There's a new beginning here, and it looks like you're going to be acting on it pretty swiftly. Let's take a look at that Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands again with the High Priestess. And the Eight of Wands, fast action towards a specific goal. Very powerful, very quick energy, very forceful. Might involve travel for some of you. Let's take a look at our Knight of Swords. Really feels like whatever this, excuse me, God, I just got hoarse when I started your reading, Virgo. Whatever this is about, it looks like you're just raring to go. It's like, now that you've decided, you don't want to waste any time. All right, let's take a look at the Knight of Swords. The Five of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. There's been some conflict about this, whatever it is. It may be about money, financial material things, residential property matters, or somebody feeling shut out, left behind, isolated. That's the conflict. The conflict might be within yourself. It might be, I get the sense that for some of you, there's at least one person that's not on board with this, or there's conflict with another person over this. It may be that you're taking action in a work, career, or money matter. It may be that you're taking advantage of the opportunity to travel for whatever reason. Let's take a look at the Queen of Coins. It may be that you're making a decision to travel, to take a trip. It might be for pleasure, or it might be for money. Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Seven of Wands. I feel like whatever this decision is, I mean, it's a general reading, so the exact details and the intensity will vary. It feels like something you feel very strongly about, something that is in alignment with what you feel is the right thing to do, regardless of what it is. There may be money wrapped up in it. It may be money spending on a certain thing or a certain trip, or even giving money to a certain person. It feels here like the difficulty is in getting everybody on board, or getting a specific person on board. It might be your partner. Because we do have the Lovers here with the Three of Pentacles. So this is about making sure that you're in alignment with your true core values, honor and ethics, and what you feel is right in the situation. Maybe you and a partner. It might be, I mean, the Lovers typically represents a pretty significant choice that needs to be made. And the choice might be about a relationship, or it might be in another area of life that affects the relationship. And it's all about compromise, negotiation, and finding a way to get everybody on the same page, even if you have to compromise and negotiate on the little things. There's very kind of defensive, protective, guarded energy here. The only thing I'm feeling in terms of a bit of cautionary energy here, Virgo, is, especially with the Lovers and all this fast momentum, energy, and justice, to be careful about what you do and how you do it, in terms of being conscious of how it might affect people other than you, because that needs to be taken into consideration with justice as well. It doesn't mean to compromise your core values and ethics, but there may be some things that you can kind of negotiate on or compromise on, so that, you know, whatever fallout there is, you know, is mitigated, or at least minimized. Let's take a look at the Justice card. Because the core issue here that I'm seeing is, you know, there's people not in agreement with something that you feel strongly about, and you just want to kind of, you know, full speed ahead on. Justice. It may be that you're making a decision to move forward on something that another person, perhaps a romantic partner or a partner in another sense, may be resistant to, or may not be in agreement with you, because maybe they feel like they're going to be left in the dust or left behind, or, you know, something of that sort. Justice. Some of you, it might be a primary relationship that, I think this is for just a few of you, a relationship that you are determined to engage in or commit to fully. And it may be for whatever reasons that there are other people, I mean, it could be friends or family, that maybe they don't like the person, or they're very different from you, or you guys have different religions or whatever. You're determined to move forward with this relationship, and it may be that it causes some kind of estrangement from other people. Justice. The Hanged Man, the World, the Page of Cups. So this is offering up a certain kind of perhaps compromise and negotiation. There's a sense with the Hanging Man of taking a different perspective and perhaps needing to make some sacrifice here for greater long-term gain or for the greater good of all. Because it's a card of surrender and sacrifice, because you have a different perspective. It's kind of like, oh, I see this now, or I see how my decisions or choices or actions is going to affect another person or affect other people. So there's a sense of perhaps compromising on part of this in some sense. But it may be, again, if it's about financial and material issues, it's a compromise here to bring a cycle to a close or take something to a next level. In actual legal situations, litigation, I feel it's compromise and negotiation. It's kind of like you're starting out with a certain picture, a certain idea, a certain story of how it's going to be. And I feel here like you're going to have to kind of adapt and adjust or moderate that. If it's an actual legal situation, it's perhaps compromising on what you accept. Like a settlement, right? Which means that you get some, but you don't get the whole thing that you were wanting in the beginning. Regardless of, and that's kind of the underlying energy here, Virgo, is in the name of bringing something to a close and moving forward, there's going to have to be some adaptation and some adjustments made, not compromising the true core thing that you feel very strongly about, but kind of looking at what your red line is, what you're not willing to back down from, and kind of recognizing, taking a step back and kind of compromising and negotiating on other things, particularly in a situation where it actually affects other people, which is the classic definition of being considerate. So let's end with some advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. Judgment, Ten of Pentacles, strength, significant choices, significant actions, needing but also having the strength and integrity to face whatever challenges there are. It feels like this is about long-term security and stability, perhaps one that affects home and family as well. For again, making some compromise and negotiation because it's best for not just you, but for everyone involved. For greater long-term gain, it's going to require a little bit of patience, but it's definitely achievable here. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Virgo, those are your messages for the first half of September 2025. For those of you for whom this made sense and hit home, I hope it was helpful and gave you some food for thought and how you move forward. If it did, and you'd like to explore having a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or you just like the reading style, if you are interested, please email me, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You could click on the description below to see those contact details as well. I would be delighted to hear from you. I will see you all shortly. Be safe, be well. Always many blessings to you, and hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.